Do you want to create generational wealth like the Rockefeller family did? Well, Preneurs, let's talk about it. Well, Preneurs, welcome back. Let's get right into the system that can create generational wealth like the Rockefeller family did for themselves. Number one I have for you is why should you? Well, right now there's a war on your dollar, all right? So there's three things that are affecting your dollar right now and your buying power. Number one is government spending. You're probably noticing that spending is going up tremendously, right? A lot of problems with that. That's definitely affecting your dollar, which actually affects inflation. I think inflation went to the highest peak in the last 30 years at 6.4%. Depending on when you're watching this video, hopefully it's dropped. Hopefully it's not increasing past that, but it definitely has went up. And lastly is taxes, which is affecting your buying power right now. So what could you be doing when you're working and you want to pass your dollar to the next generation? Because legacy by definition is passing it to two generations below you. So let's kind of get into what that kind of looks like. One thing I want you to think about is because all of us have a family, right? And one of the major things when you start talking about our family is our blood. And it's like, okay, my next generation, I want my next generation to be more powerful than the current one, right? So how to consistently pass on generational wealth. One thing I want you to think about is creating a family tree. When's the last time you actually looked at your family tree? I did this exercise, I was like, my gosh, I have so many people in my family I didn't even know. So just think about it. It all starts with you. So maybe you have a wife, maybe you have kids, grandkids, depending on where you're at in life right now, but you have a mom or dad, they're still living. Go ahead and spread that out. Look at the grandparents, if they're still living, grandma, uncle, aunt, siblings, cousins, draw it all out. Why? Because this is everything in your family. Once you understand what's everything in your family, you gotta go to some of the facts versus feelings. So when we start talking about facts, 100% of everybody on this family tree is going to have a funeral, okay? So once you understand that, then you have something you need to hedge against, we're gonna talk about in a minute. So stay with me. Number two is probably everyone in this family tree is gonna have some type of sickness or injury before they maybe pass. And this is likely to go higher and higher and higher as we have different things going on right now. Number three is there's a high probability if they're building any type of retirement plan right now that they may lose some money towards retirement. So let's go to the fourth one, which is who can actually help you. These are some people you're gonna need to help you to make sure you're having the right advice, the right GPS to reach the right destination, which is creating generational wealth again. So number one is you do need a life insurance agent or a financial advisor that is licensed and knows exactly what they're doing. Number two, you need a trusted or estate attorney around so they can write up the right paperwork so it's all clear, documented, and you have clear, concise direction on what you want to do. And then lastly, you need an A-rated insurance carrier or financial institution to be able to back you up with the product that's necessary to make sure this system is effectively done. So let's kind of go right into what I mean by this. So number five is your action steps. So let's say that you have someone on this family tree that decides to get a policy for $500,000, for example. Well, what you can do is that you can now split your beneficiaries. So your beneficiary can have 75%. So that could be, take the wife here and the kids. So that could all be the beneficiary. So 75% of this $500,000 would go to the beneficiaries tax-free if something ever happened to this individual. 25% of this money would go into what's called a trust, okay? That's prepared by who? The trust estate attorney. So next what would happen, okay, is that you will position yourself, that money will go into this trust tax-free. So next what you need is a board of advisors. So let's say that these are the individuals that you want to, again, to be able to speak on behalf of the family to make the best financial decisions. So let's say that you're elected, okay, as you say that your mom was elected, say that grandpa's elected. You do not want more than 5 and you want it to be odds, you could always have a swing vote, okay? So what would happen is now you have a board. And that board, what they do is they make decisions based on exactly what happens to the trust and all the money in that trust. And so what you do after that is now you go create and invest assets. So for example, let's say that when the grandkids decide, you know what, I want to open up a business. So they decide, you know what, I need $10,000 to open up this business. They go to B of A, they go to Wells Fargo, they don't have the right credit, they don't have enough experience yet, so the bank denies them. So then what they do is they go to where? The board, which is a part of who? Their own bloodline family. And they go to the three of the board and they say, you know what? I have a business plan and I need to take out $10,000 for my business. If the board says, yes, we like your business plan, they can loan the money from where? The trust. okay? And they can control the interest and the terms. So when that business is created, okay, then that individual, which is one of the grandkids, for example, would pay back that money back into the trust. So basically what has been created is this trust has became its own entity, its own bank. Now the family's created their own bank. So now you have individuals on this family tree that are always funding the generational wealth to always create new assets, all right? And to always position themselves to create more generational wealth for the family. Why? Because 100% of everyone's going to eventually have a funeral. So the question at Thanksgiving or Christmas or anything else when you're talking to your family is, how would you like to be a part of our family trust to create generational wealth, where we can go buy real estate, where we can go invest in other assets or create and innovate new things, because we can fund our own passions moving forward. We now are our own entities. This is a way to do it. And by the way, that money is coming from a life policy. That money is all tax-free. So you have tax-free money that is funding the trust, okay? Now that has a board that controls it, the executors. Now you can go and create new things for yourself and you and your family as well. And this is a way that the Rockefeller family is now being able to be noticed for such generational wealth being created. And by the way, you can do this too. Well, Preneurs, that's what we have for you today. Go in and check out the other videos that we also have online. Like, share, comment, and we'll see you on the next one.